Hey guys, welcome to Basement Kitchen. What's Basement Kitchen, Raquel? Well, it's when you have a very confined space and you need to cook because you gotta eat. So, like myself, I just came up with this idea like 5 minutes ago because I was about to cook some food and I was like, hey, maybe I should record this. So, I want to call this Basement Kitchen. Today we're gonna cook a really easy crock pot kind of meal. And we have a very limited space to work on, but you know what, it's gonna be good and you're gonna be absolutely happy with the result. So here we go. Here is our workspace. It is literally like a 4 foot by 2 feet. Ooh, I'm not flicking my coffee off. 4 feet by 2 feet table, and yes, this is my chef's hat. I found it at the dollar store and I was like, oh yeah, let me try that. But today we're going to be making a really simple soup a la crock pot, so it's even simpler. That crock pot was 15 bucks at Aldi. I recommend you getting it. So let's run down the list of ingredients. We have chicken bouillon on deck right here in the gold packaging. We have a little vegetable bouillon as well. I really like flavor, so that is why we're going to use that much. Some people like just prefer to use 1 or 2. I'm like 2.5. This right here is chopped ginger, and because I'm sick, it's going to be very medicinal. Ginger is really good. It helps bring out flavors in a very unusual, nice way. This is a red onion. Yum, my favorite onion, and I had it in the fridge, so why not use it? 2 stalks of celery. These right here are green onions. We're going to use these green onions. A handful of baby carrots. I'm going to eat one right now. This shishito pepper, which I've never used before or even eaten. I saw it at the store and I was like, oh yeah, let's try that out. I have garlic. I'm gonna use maybe 1 to 2 not bulbs, oh gosh, that would be crazy. Slices of garlic. We're gonna start with the bone broth. I got this at Aldi. Okay y'all, let's try this again before I get cut off one more time by my phone. So, bone broth, it's delicious. Turkey, it goes really well with the bouillon cubes. We have, I already talked about the celery, celery and green onion. We have the shishito peppers, there's about 9 of those, as well as 2 boxes of mushrooms. This is a white mushroom and this is a baby cremini mushroom. Mushrooms cook down really quickly, so you're only gonna get like this much out of those. This right here is spinach. I'm gonna chop it up, and we're gonna have some chopped spinach up in there. And this right here is the chicken breast. Now I slightly browned it. You can use I used orange upstairs, but this wonderful little doozy I got from Aldi as well. Not sponsored, but I should be. And it was really cheap. I think it was like maybe 30 bucks. It's really cool, versatile. You can use it during the holidays. That's my bag of seasonings. We'll get to that when we're doing our thing. And did I talk about these? Probably so, yes. So I'm gonna get chopping. I already started. Let's do this thing. We're gonna start by putting this bone broth into our crock pot. Oh, you probably can't see that. Whee! There it goes. So it only yielded about, I don't know, geez, like a quarter of the way up in the crock pot, and what we're going to do is cut it with water because we have these bouillons right here. Oh yeah, and I started chopping, y'all. We have these bouillons. They're gonna, make it a soup. So just to be clear on how much water I used for the crock pot, I put in, and it's a 7-quart crock pot. I used 3. I filled this up 3 times with water. So altogether there are 4, including the 1 bone broth inside of the crock pot. Does that make sense? I hope so. So I chopped up the peppers, or the peppers, the celery, the green onions in there, the onions and the mushrooms and the garlic. What we're gonna do is, now that the crock pot is simmering, I'm going to throw all of this in here and then do our second batch of the vegetables. So you may be thinking to yourself, hey, why all these mushrooms? They break down, y'all. I'm telling you, like, it's really sad. They're so glorious, but they do break down. So dump those into the pot. Okay, so now we have our chopped spinach and our, wow, why won't this focus? There we go. You have a chopped spinach and now our chicken. With the chicken, I dressed it in olive oil when cooking it with a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, tiny bit, just because, you know, that whole thing's gonna have, you know, bouillon and stuff. So it's gonna be salty, but you can flavor it to taste. I would just say go light on the seasonings while searing it on the stove. And I actually made an executive decision, because the crock pot is pretty full, that we're gonna ixnay on the cabbage. So no cabbage recipe. Obviously you can use it if you want to, but I am running out of room. Okay guys, it's a little dark, but as you can see, this thing is filled to the brim. Like, it is really filled up. This is the 7-quart pan. You could use the 14 quarts, which would allow a little bit more space. I have it set on high because I wanted to cook for 3 hours, if that. And then we're gonna use, what I like to do to give it a little bit more depth, I'm gonna use a little bit of butter or ghee, whatever you want to use as your, whoops, don't use things that have been dropped on the ground, by the way. Just to give it a little more body. I'm also gonna use some red pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder to taste. Maybe I'll throw in a little bit of this Himalayan salt. Who knows? It's up to you when you're cooking it. But yeah, let's do that and let's see how it turns out in a little while. Alright party people, it has been about 3.5 hours. This has been on a, what do you call it, high temperature, and et voila, c'est magnifique. Oh yes. And you can see like on the top, it just has a little bit of that fat, which is really nice, just to cut through that whole wonderfully vegetable-ness of the soup. So with that said, I'm going to get a bowl and enjoy. I suggest you do the same. Until the next time, folks. Bye.